Good morning, everybody, and actually good afternoon to our friends that are listening overseas. I just want to do a quick check to make sure you guys can hear me. So if you can just type in the chat box, and it's actually a good practice for you, and let me know if you can hear me. So you can find the chat box and make sure it says all panelists. Awesome, Danke. Great. Well, we are super excited for today. My name is Nicole Vogel. I am the Senior Program Manager of Military Spouse Programs at the USO, and we have our friends from USO Kaiserslautern and USO Kansas on today. And actually, Tracy, I'll go ahead and let you jump in as well, and I'll get started and stop sharing. All right, can you guys see us okay? Make sure we can hear everybody too. I think we're good. Tracy, Casey?
Morning, I'm here. 10-4.
We're here. Good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We're in 3 different time zones right now. So this is pretty exciting for our USO Around the World Thanksgiving edition. Again, this is a Coffee Connection Live. This is for military spouses and just the community that support the military to join in on conversation, have a cup of coffee or whatever you choose to drink, and engage in some conversation. So we are going to talk about what's going on over at the USO Kansas, USO Kaiserslautern, how to make some friends if you're a military spouse. We're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff today. So sit back, relax. We have my team. Danielle Haro is the producer of the show. She's in the chat box, so feel free to say hello to her. We also have Elizabeth Lee, who's behind the scenes. So thank you to my team helping me with this as well. But if everyone in the chat box who's joining the call, if you could actually type in and let us know in the chat box where you're joining us from today, we'd greatly appreciate it. We love to know who we are having coffee with. So let's go ahead and get started. Tracy, I'll start with you. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and the community you live and work in?
You bet. Well, I'm a native of Kansas, and I'm also known as a townie because I did grow up in Manhattan, Kansas, which is one of our neighboring communities. And I'm a graduate of Kansas State University. I have a background in marketing communications, serving nonprofits. I'm a single mother of a teenage daughter, which is also very challenging. But yes, we are surrounded with 2 lovely communities, Manhattan on one side of Fort Riley, Junction City on the other. And yeah, so I'm been a neighbor of Fort Riley my entire life, and really excited to be here at the USO.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. And then Casey, tell us a little bit about yourself, the community that you live and work in, and also the fact that you used to work at USO Fort Belvoir and just transitioned over there. So give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Yeah, actually, it's almost been a year now that I've moved out here to Kaiserslautern, Germany.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gone quickly. You know, USO years. So I'm originally from New York. You might hear my accent come out during this coffee connection. I was fortunate to move all around the States as an adult. And I was last in Virginia, and I was at USO Metro DC at Fort Belvoir. And about last year ago, I made the big move here to Kaiserslautern, Germany. Always wanted to live overseas, and what better way to do it than to be, supporting our military and connecting them to family, home, and country while we're here. It's awesome here. It's very different than living in the States, but it's a great experience, and it's such great community here in the Kaiserslautern military community, very tight-knit community.
Yeah.
Happy to be a part of it.
I can agree to that. We were there for 5 years, so it was also home for our family for quite a while. So a little jealous that you're there. And Tracy, I've never been to Kansas. I was going to say schnitzel, all of the everything. Food, and Tracy, I've never been to Kansas before, so we'll definitely have to put that on the bucket list.
Well, and you know, most people think of Kansas like rocky, flat, but we have those parts of Kansas, but we also have very beautiful parts of Kansas as well. So we're more in the northeastern part of Kansas with rolling hills. So
Ooh.
yeah, come visit us anytime.
Will do, will do. And then Casey in Kaiserslautern, what are your favorite things to do there since you've lived there for a year?
Oh gosh.
What to do for the military spouses listening in, for anybody else listening in, let us know.
So outside of eating, because everybody loves to eat in Germany, there is absolutely any given block or there's so much hiking to do here. Here in Kaiserslautern and the surrounding area, you just hop in your car and or even walk out of your house and you find like a hiking trail in the middle of this beautiful woods. So that's here locally in Kaiserslautern. I love to just go out and hike. And then the ability to travel, like last weekends ago I was in the French Riviera. Like you can drive to France within 30 minutes. And when I first moved here, like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're a little spoiled being so centrally located. So those are my two favorite things, hiking and traveling.
Yes, good, good. And then Tracy in Kansas, for the military spouses in that community, or for anybody that actually could be moving to Fort Riley or the surrounding area, what's your favorite thing to do there?
Well, I have many favorite things to do, but I will tell you a few things that are unique about Fort Riley. We are on over 100 acres here. And so oftentimes driving around post, we get to see turkey. We have deer crossing the road. We even have large elk on our post. We have lakes here at Fort Riley. So for folks that are thinking, oh, Kansas, there is really quite a bit to do. The two neighboring communities both have large reservoirs. So if you're an outdoorsman or an outdoor woman, there's plenty to do in Kansas. We're 2 hours from Kansas City, 2 hours from Wichita. We have a major university in Manhattan, Kansas. So we do have an arts culture, a collegiate culture. So there really is, you know, something for everyone when you find yourself here in Kansas. And we also have all 4 seasons, and Kansas weather is always unpredictable at best. So that's one of the hardest things I do, is that you could wake up and have 70 degrees and a beautiful day, and the next day you could be in snow. So.
Oh, yep. I mean, it's good to know that you can have all 4 seasons, and that's important to us, at least as a military family, because we're from the Midwest. So yeah, it sounds like that would be a very desirable area to go to.
Well, and it is challenging for our friends that come from those warmer climates, because oftentimes they come and they don't really realize you're going to need a winter coat and gloves and a hat. So we have a lot of those conversations here at the center about winter is coming.
Yes, yes. Well, and I wanted to talk to you, the two of you, about what we're doing for military spouses in your communities. We've been doing coffee connections, which are small gatherings for military spouses around the world now, which is very exciting. Mm-hmm. They come to your center, they can enjoy a cup of coffee and great conversation and just meet friends and get connected. So I'll go to Casey actually on this one. The coffee connections in your area, can you tell us a little bit about those and what kind of friendships you've seen made since we launched them in your area?
Yes. So we are now holding them monthly at 3 different locations. And for my Kaiserslautern military spouses, we're holding them in the K-Town area, up at Spingdalem and Baumholder. Wow. And it's great because the one we held in August, summertime, high PCS season. And we had a lot of newbies that just got here within that month, and they came in and they didn't know anybody. And then by the end of the connection, cell phones are exchanging numbers and, talking about the different trips to take and, oh, we're going to do that one. And it was just neat to see, the connections made, and then, learning about Germany together, because it's a challenge living overseas. And being a military spouse and being in the military, that's a challenge and a stressor alone. And then to top on, okay, you're in a whole new country with all these new rules and regulations.
Right.
Recycling is very different here, and you have to learn all this. So to have somebody else to go through that with is pretty neat. So we usually offer those type of resources at our connections, as someone to give a little info on acclimating to here in Germany.
And I feel as though overseas as well, in particular, when you meet your friends over there and you make that connection, they become family. They're the ones.
Absolutely.
rely on when you need a helping hand. So
Yes.
that's excellent. And then Tracy, your Coffee Connections, I know when we started doing Coffee Connections there, they have just been one of the most popular locations around the world. So can you tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing there with your Coffee Connections?
Well, and that's exciting to hear that from you, Nicole, because I'm really proud of it, and we really look forward to our monthly Coffee Connections. We sometimes have an excess of 50 spouses. Our Coffee Connections are kid-friendly, and I would say probably 90% of the spouses that attend do bring an infant, a newborn, a toddler. When school's out, they'll bring their school-age children. So you mentioned, making family, extended family, and I really get that vibe from our folks. Some of our spouses that have been here for a while are so welcoming and knowledgeable and are willing to share their experiences with the other new spouses. Obviously, too, when you're a new mom, and a lot of these spouses that come in have their new babies, it's hard for them to get out and find something to go do with their infant or with their toddler. So we've made it extremely kid-friendly. It's one of the few times that we kind of just let down our hair and let everybody just relax and have a good time. We enjoy the kids, we enjoy the spouses. And so, yeah, it's really grown a lot. And I think the ladies really look forward to coming. Obviously, the support that we get from the national office is really welcome. We love the 31 bags. We love our mugs.
Yes.
So, yeah, I do think that those friendships and connections that are made are the ones that everyone looks forward to the next Coffee Connection, to coming back and seeing their friends that they might only see, at that time. So we try to just let folks chill, eat some good food, visit with each other. And it seems to be something, again, that everybody just really enjoys.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's just a fun thing to see every month, all of the pictures that we see from all of the Coffee Connections around the world, especially your guys' locations, because you can just definitely tell the community and the friendships that are being made. So speaking of community and what's happening in the next couple days, Thanksgiving, many military families are separated or, far away from their families, their extended families. So actually, I wanted to reach out to our friends in the chat box and see what are some ways that you all stay connected when you're far away from family during the holidays, and especially during Thanksgiving. What are you doing to keep connected to your friends and family? And then Tracy, I'll send this question your way. What programs are you guys offering at Fort Riley for the military families during Thanksgiving right now?
Sure. Well, we're kind of in an unusual situation here, not really unusual in regards to military life, but we have had half of our base deployed, and almost all of those have come home. Almost all of those service members are home now. So there are a lot of folks are going on large block leaves, which we're super excited for them because they've been separated from their spouse. They get to come home, have a nice big chunk of block leave. So a lot of folks are getting ready to leave post again for those block leaves so that they can actually go home and spend time with their families. So we're excited to see them do that. For those that are left behind and not able to take those block leaves, we start with embracing the season with football watch parties. We have something starting this weekend where we'll have a big watch party to watch NFL all day on Sunday, and we call it our pre-turkey teaser. So we'll come in, we'll have tailgate snacks, we'll watch football, bring everybody together for fun. And then we have very supportive FRGs here at our installation. And so we are actually hosting, or one of our FRGs is hosting, a Thanksgiving meal here at the center on Thanksgiving Day. And they have said anybody who needs to come through, they're willing to feed anyone. So again, that's just how our post seems to operate as a village. Everyone opens their arms to everyone else. And if something fun is going on, if there's food involved, we definitely, open up our arms, and the FRGs open up their arms to anybody outside their unit. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Our dining facilities are phenomenal, and they go all out. We have 3 large dining facilities, and we often partner with them as well. And they'll be doing huge, big Thanksgiving Day feasts on 3 different days. So you can actually go and, get your grub on 3 different times if you want to. So again, we're here, we're open. We have some things going on. We always have a lot of activity here. So we'll be doors open and things happening, but we'll kick things off this Sunday with our football watch party.
Sounds like a good time. And the fact that you don't have to make a meal and somebody else will make it for you, and you don't have to do dishes, and you can meet new people, sign me up.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a great time. And then Casey, what are you guys up to in Kaiserslautern for Thanksgiving?
Oh gosh. So, well, our region covers quite a bit of areas, and our centers, we have our Baumholder USO. They're doing a dessert bar after dinner. So they're gonna have all different types of pies and ice cream, and they're everything dessert. And then our other centers, we're going to have a traditional Thanksgiving dinner up at our Warrior Center on Launchstoel, and then at the PAX terminal on Ramstein for if there's any passengers. And also throughout the region, we have actually, it's tomorrow, our big Thanks for Thanksgiving program. And this program is so unique. We actually held it at Baumholder yesterday, and it's where the senior NCOs nominate their junior enlisted to receive a full turkey dinner with all the sides that go with it. So yesterday, the NCOs came and they packed up all the meals, and we gave out 260 meals at Baumholder. And we have 450 signed up yesterday. And I have to show you this grocery bag. So the children in the community decorate the brown paper bags. We put the sides in, the stuffing, the gravy, and all that jazz. And then the other side is our event flyer. This is an elementary school child who did this beautiful piece of work of art. Take a look at this.
I couldn't do that.
Leaves on here. This is so detailed. I could not do this. So the children in the community put these bags together. We have 700 of them. And then the other side is our awesome flyer. And this represents the senior NCO shaking the hand of their junior enlisted. And what's also neat about the program is they get there, and say it's their first sergeant, and the first sergeant wraps up the food. They walk through the line. Tomorrow we'll have breakfast burritos. And then the first sergeant will put the food in the cart and walk with the family to the car and load the car with them. So it's an awesome program, especially to connect those younger service members to home, because we have a lot of, this is their first duty station. They're 19, 20, and they're in Germany. So what better way to be connected to home than a full Thanksgiving dinner. So we're excited for tomorrow.
I love it. And I was able to witness that when we lived in Kaiserslautern.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's an amazing program to see.
Yeah.
So I love that.
And they are so efficient, seeing
Yes.
the senior NCOs put everything together. It's great.
One of my favorite times of the year for sure. So speaking of giving thanks, there's a lot of research that shows that having a daily attitude of gratitude is good for your health. It can lead to better sleep, lower your blood pressure, and have stronger relationships with others. So spouses in the chat box, or really anybody in the chat box, how do you practice gratitude? And we'll get that conversation going. But then Tracy, to you, do you have a way of practicing gratitude in your life?
Well, I gave some thought to that question, and really, to be honest with you, my sense of gratitude doesn't come from that outwardly, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right.
I like to show gratitude by counting my own blessings and paying it forward, providing service to others, waking up every day with the intention in my heart that today I'm going to have a positive impact on the people that I encounter. And for me, that really fulfills my way of saying thanks, of giving back. Again, the fortunate situations that I find myself in, others may not be as fortunate. So every day I try to be friendly, even just that smile, that conversation that you might have with somebody, pausing, being present, listening to what others may have on their mind. For me, that's my kind of intentional way of showing gratitude and being thankful. And I do try to do that every day and start the day, again, with that top of mind, especially as we work in this nonprofit world and serving folks that really do need some of that extra TLC and warmth and comfort. That to me is important, and we do that every day here at the USO.
Yeah, and a smile can go a long way. So
it really can.
Yeah. So true. Then Casey, I'm going to ask you the same question.
Gosh, No, and it's funny you just said a smile could go a long way. I have this goals board in my kitchen with different quotes and goals for the month. And one quote that always stays on there is, smile, you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
So that's personally, I try to smile at everybody I see, even if I'm upset in a bad mood. Like, you know what, just smiling, it makes you happy.
Yes.
And you just give out positivity. But I mean, every morning when I wake up, I really do try to say, okay, I'm grateful for, first of all, my bed and, coffee, which I am. I get very excited every morning, but practicing daily gratitude, because we are so blessed and have so much, so just practicing that daily gratitude and making sure to be friendly and smile at others and just be your best self. Whatever you're doing, give 110% all the time.
Yep. There's a song, I have a toddler. Oh gosh, I'm gonna go into song now, aren't I? And it goes,
the Baby Shark song?
Do your best, the best is the best for you. So that's something where I try to keep that in my head too. Like, just be positive, do your best, be kind. And now we can turn this into a karaoke episode. So here we go.
I don't know if you want me to sing. You might lose some people.
No, we're actually gaining. No, I'm just kidding. So when we lived in Germany about 5 years ago, what we did around Thanksgiving, because we couldn't fly home due to the expenses and just the travel, and it was the logistics is difficult. We ended up having Friendsgiving with our friends that were in the area. So, looking back, it's really one of our most favorite things that favorite times during the holidays was that gathering in the community with our friends. So Casey, I wanted to ask you, are you going to partake in Friendsgiving? What are you doing since you're, kind of in a different area away from your family? What are you doing for Thanksgiving? And tell us a little bit about that.
Of course, yeah. I'm actually on actual Thanksgiving. I will not be attending a friend's Thanksgiving, but I am going to a lot of different lunches and dinners with friends, groups of friends. I'm actually traveling because it's very popular here in Germany, since it is a 4-day weekend. So I will be traveling, but during the Christmas season, I will be hosting a lot of my friends in the area who aren't going to be able to make it back home. So I'm excited to have that in December.
Yeah, awesome. And then Tracy, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, again, I'm a townie, so I'm very fortunate that I do have family in town and nearby. So we do a traditional family Thanksgiving, but we also try to get into our community. I know the Manhattan community offers a community dinner for anyone to attend. And in years past, we've gone and helped serve. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing that this year. We had a major loss in our family this year. We lost my father, who was a World War II veteran. So it'll be a kind of a bittersweet family Thanksgiving for us, but we always look again for some way to pay it forward because we feel fortunate and blessed. And so there's many in our community that are not as fortunate. So again, we step out into the community and try to volunteer and do things. And then also one of the benefits of being a townie, I have a lot of friends who come back to visit their elderly parents. And so there will be some sort of gathering with old high school friends, which is great to connect with those people that just know you better than anyone else, and that fills my heart with a lot of joy to connect with.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about being a townie is going and hanging out with friends, your hometown friends, the night before Thanksgiving. Everybody's in town.
Yeah, absolutely. In years past, it was a little, a lot of late nights, but now we usually meet early and get home early, because, many of us are parents or grandparents even. So, so those late nights have gone away, but we still make a point of trying to get together and connect for sure.
Awesome. Well, being a military spouse and traditions, during Thanksgiving and everything, you hear about traditions, and I find it a little difficult doing the traditions as a military spouse because you're changing so many different places and things are always changing. So, Casey, I'll look at you. What advice or what do you do for traditions? Like, what have you carried from maybe when you were a kid to now? as for traditions around the holidays, and spouses, if or anybody in the chat box, if anybody wants to share traditions that they have or share, we'd love to see that as well.
This is a good one. So for Christmas Eve is very big in my family. All of our cousins would get together and there'd be like 30 people, and we're Italian American, so you can't hear anything. But we always did a traditional home cooked Christmas Eve dinner, and that to me has always stayed with me no matter where I've traveled with the USO. So I always ensure to make the traditional Italian appetizers that my family would have. And it's neat because, when I left New York the first time and met friends in California and from all over the world, they're like, this is the appetizer. So being, Italian American, we have that culture where eating is a big part during the holidays. So anytime I'm hosting, I hold that tradition and I make, those big appetizers, and all of my friends are grateful. So it's neat to see. And then for them to, take the recipes on and make it.
Well, and you say appetizer, so I think you need to go into that a little bit more detail, so then we know we need to do this. Yes, tell us more.
Yeah, some like antipasto, which is different mozzarella and peppers, and the olives, and then you have to get some good cheese, Parmigiano Reggiano, some good Italian bread, stuffed mushrooms, stuffed artichokes is another good one. So those type of light hors d'oeuvres before you get into the main meal.
To practice.
Yeah, to work up your appetite a little bit.
And now we're all hungry.
Yes, and then I like to make, I don't do it very often, but I do like to make a homemade sauce or baked ziti or something like that. We actually just had a potluck here at USO Kaiserslautern admin office, and I did make homemade meatballs for them and a homemade sauce. So
well, that's a lot better than what I brought to their potlucks when I was there. I brought pretzels, so I'm sure they appreciate your cooking a lot better than my country.
Pretzels are very popular here. We usually always have fresh bread at our potlucks because German bread's amazing.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Well, and then Tracy, for you guys, since you don't do much traveling for Thanksgiving, you're in the area. What kind of traditions do you feel like you've had traditions that carried on throughout the years where you're at?
Well, of course, obviously, you think holidays, you think Thanksgiving, you think traditions, but I kind of like to just say that it's also exciting to create new traditions.
Yes.
There's the classic dishes that you always look forward to having or making, those recipes that have been passed down from grandparents, grandmothers, through your mother to you, and now you're going to pass those on to your children. But I'm kind of at crossroads in my life because, and so we're looking to create our own traditions. We have our family nucleus, but as we've lost our parents, we are looking now at doing things differently. So that's kind of exciting for us. We still want to hang on to some of those traditional family things that we do at the holidays, but we're also kind of thinking, okay, now we don't have to consider elderly parents in the mix, which sometimes is you can't travel with them, and you have to make sure that they're accommodated and happy, and that's important at that time. But when they're gone, you kind of like open your eyes to like, oh, well, maybe we can do things differently this time. Maybe we can go out to eat. Maybe we can travel during the holidays. So I think that my siblings and my older nieces and nephews, we're kind of at that point now where we're thinking, what can we do that will be unique for us as a family tradition to move forward and pass on to our children that's not necessarily homebound or food related. So we are tossing out a lot of different ideas to consider. So,
and I love that. As a military family too, the creating new traditions is so important because maybe you can't carry on those traditions that you previously had. So making those new traditions and carrying those along as you go, so important. So I love that. Love that. So we all work for the USO, and a lot of the times we get asked how others, like the community, can support military families and service members. So what advice would you give on how people can support the military and their families in your community? And Tracy, I'll look at you for this question.
Well, that's an easy question to answer because our communities are uber supportive of our military families. I mean, the Manhattan community in Junction City, again, we sit right in between them. We're like 20 minutes from each. And I know that there is an organization in Junction City that actually has like an adopt a soldier program where they'll adopt a young single soldier who wants to feel a little bit more connected, and they get invited for family meals to go watch the kids play softball or soccer. And so they get that kind of familial connection in that way. We also have communities that donate funds so that we can actually execute the things that we do here at the USO. So those things are very important to us. Those sponsorships, those engagements that we have with our communities in that way are super important to us. But then again, we have a very welcoming community here on our installation. A lot of the officers will invite and open up their homes through the holidays so that if there is a young service member or a young family that doesn't have a connection or choose to want to have a connection, because oftentimes people just want to relax and maybe go do some traveling on their own, that we do have so many people who are opening up their doors to welcome folks in for not only the holiday meal, but at any time. So there's obviously events going on with tree lightings and caroling and things that typically, you see in communities at the holiday time, and the doors are wide open for our service members, and we try to promote those to our folks so that they know that there's all of the on post we partner with. ACS and MWR and MFLAC. And so we are all kind of ingrained when we talk about what we're offering. And if we might not be doing something, we'll know that somebody else might be doing something on that day. So there's plenty of options, and we try to connect people with the things that might interest them.
I love it. And the fact that if you're in the military and you feel as though there might not be a lot going on in the holidays, or you're bummed because you can't get to your extended family that might be far away, there's always something going on, either at the base, at the USO, or even in your community. Like you said, the tree lightings, like those are all over. So just kind of have to do the research and look and see what's out there, or ask another person, or come to your USO and ask what they know what's going on. And I'm sure everybody's kind of plugged into, like you said, all those other organizations that are also there to support everybody. So Casey, what about you guys? What would you say how others, overseas, or even people who are here, how can they support military service members where you're at? It's kind of a loaded.
First, so for those back home, how can they support our military here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting question. I got to think about. They can't come here and volunteer.
Yeah.
You just spreading the word of that we do have so many military who are stationed overseas and who are still going downrange, and we do have these families that are separated. I think outside of the military world and the civilian population, I think many people aren't aware that we still have families separated, we still have deployments, and the USO is here to provide these services. So if you learn about all of our great services, tell the next person and the next person, because that's how we get the message out there.
Right.
And the message to them. So, and also, we couldn't do the amazing work we do without our volunteers and our sponsors. We're actually really fortunate here in the Kaiserslautern military community. We have our American businesses on base, but we have really great partnerships with some of the German businesses that donate lovely meals so we could put on these programs. And we do have, these sponsors who will come out and donate time if they know a certain skill. So it's awesome to see that we have those relationships here as well in the German community. But for those back home, just, share the message that, our military, they are still downrange. They're overseas, their families are deployed, and check out our Facebook page, check out our website, look at all the things we do and spread the message for sure.
Yeah. And Facebook, that's another way for everybody to find out what's going on. Facebook, the USO, your local USO Facebook page probably has all the information you're looking for. Yeah. So always check that out as well.
If you're here, sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
For those listening in the Kaiserslautern area, USO Kaiserslautern, everything we do is on there. So definitely check it out. We want to get to know all of you.
Yeah. And Tracy, you guys have a Facebook page as well. So, and I follow both of your guys' pages, and I know that you guys post all kinds of fun stuff on there. So.
Yes, that seems to be one of the best ways for us to share not only what's upcoming and what cool things we've got planned for our military families, but it's also a good way to share post pictures too. And I think you've maybe seen some of those, because we have a real hubbub here at times. And so it's fun. I love to go out and take those close-up pictures and really get to the faces of those folks that are here enjoying the services that we provide and making the connections here in the center. So yeah, Facebook is a great way. I did think though that we need to maybe consider maybe Snapchat, because I know a lot of our younger, especially our male service members, I've been talking with them about how can we connect with you guys, because they don't Facebook. A lot of them get messages shared through their communication channels, because we do brief at all of the big meetings, and it's supposed to get pushed down. But I just worry about those guys in the barracks. I want to, that's kind of my focus for 2020. That's our focus here, is to again, reach out to some of those single service members that maybe are up in the barracks that have never jumped on Facebook or come down the hill to see us here at the center. So
yeah,
Tracy,
let us know how we can.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was like, we're working on the same thing here, Tracy, trying to get those younger single service members out of the barracks.
Good. Well, let's work on some strategies.
Video games. It's the new thing. Yeah. And we are hosting a video game tournament come December. It's on our Facebook page.
Love it. Well, and I want to make sure anybody in the chat room that's joining us right now, if you have any questions, feel free to go into the Q&A box and ask us questions, and we'll go ahead and I can ask Tracy and Casey. I just love saying that, Tracy. Any questions that you guys might have for them in regards to the holidays, in regards to programs, in regards to the areas that they live in. Feel free to ask some questions if you have any, and you'll just go to the Q&A box that's down below on your screen. We'll keep checking that as we continue on with our conversation. I don't know, since Casey and Tracy, you guys just recently met, do you guys have any questions for each other since we're here having coffee?
Oh, yeah. Tracy, you go ahead. You go first, Tracy.
Well, I was just going to say, I love this connection. Again, we had not even spoken until we started prepping for this Coffee Connection Live. And it's fun to hear that there's many similarities with what our interest and our goals are, how we would like to relate to our service members as far as the gratitude, just being that friendly face at the front door sometimes can mean so much to someone. Taking that minute to just spend time with someone can be so important for that person. So I'm excited to continue the friendship that Casey and I have made just in preparing for this Coffee Connection Live, and maybe working on some other things that we could do something similar like this, maybe with our Coffee Connections. We'll just go live and our folks there can interact with the folks here, something like that. That would be fun. Use technology.
Yep.
That is a great idea. I love it. You could do a live Coffee Connection from Fort Riley and Kaiserslautern, and the spouses can see each other. Oh, wow, this is awesome. They could share resources.
And then they could be pen pals.
Yeah.
Still do that? No.
Pen pals? I don't know. Or Snapchat pals, or I don't know how that works.
Tracy, you're on it. That's your homework.
Yeah.
Okay.
Snapchat pals. Figure it out.
I'll use my teenager to help me do the homework.
Yes.
The beeper.
So I'm not seeing any questions from our team or group out there. So I don't know, do you guys have any last words? Any last thoughts?
Well, I would just like to,
Tracy, yeah.
If it's okay, yeah, I'd just like to encourage anyone who's listening from my area is that we support Operation Santa Claus, which is a kind of like a toy shop for E5s and below to go through. They have to be recommended by their command COs and have the right paperwork in order. But we are really lagging in donations. So I just encourage everybody to, again, consider how blessed you may be. And if you are interested in donating toys that a young service member can give to their child through the holidays. Just look for those donation boxes in the community, because we'd like to support that as best we can. And just remember to give. It's a season for giving. It's not always a season for receiving. So just keep that in mind. And if there's anything that you'd like to do for the service members here in our region, just reach out, contact us, call, Facebook. We do a big gift wrapping center here, so that a lot of the spouses will pull up with their trucks full of toys, and we go wagon and load them up. So kids are at school, they come in and wrap their presents in secret. And so, we need donations, gift wrap and bows and those sorts of things. So there's always something that you can get involved with related to giving back. So we encourage that.
Love it. And then Casey, how about you?
Yes, before I get into that, Tracy, that sounds like an awesome program, the gift wrapping. I might have to steal that.
Well, it's great because they spread out, they have big tables, and again, they can kind of get the things out of the house and come up here and, in secret. So it works out, and it's fun to see them. So
yeah, that's definitely sounds like an awesome program. Well, we've got a lot going on here at USO Kaiserslautern. So we've got in December our big selfies with Santa Claus. And that's a great event up at our PAX terminal, and families come and take pictures with Santa. We'll have lunch, arts and crafts, different games. Always a really, really well-attended event. And the best part is you don't need to register, you just show up. And of course, that's on our Facebook page. And then all of our different events going on during the holiday season. For those newer, new families out there, new spouses, don't be shy. I know it's very different here in Germany. I know the driving's different. I know you got to go out with euros and not American cash. Come and meet us at the next Coffee Connection. We actually have one, not next week, the week after, December 5th. So just a couple of weeks. So come in and join us and meet your fellow peers. And we're going to talk about the amazing Christmas markets here in Germany. If you haven't, you live under a rock if you haven't, seen all the different notices, but there's probably about hundreds of them. I haven't been to them yet because I got here in January, so I'm very excited myself to explore. But don't be scared to go out and to learn about the community here and meet, come out to a connection if you don't want to venture out on your own, and meet a local peer, spouse, and go out together. But definitely check us out, USO Kaiserslautern. And we've got our brand new Baumholder USO, which is just about 30 minutes from Kaiserslautern. We have a lot of families there, a lot of younger families. So I was there last night and it was popping for sure. So if you haven't been over there yet, you have to go and see our new USO. And there's always lots of goodies in the kitchen. And of course, coffee. But no, if you have questions for us, find us on Facebook, shoot us an email, you volunteer opportunities. The fun doesn't stop here at USO Kaiserslautern. We're blessed with amazing volunteers, staff, and of course, our amazing military and families. And it's a great community here. I'm so appreciative to be a part of it and to be out here, especially in the holidays.
Yes, it's a magical time.
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. If anybody does have any additional questions or comments, you can feel free to email us at programs@uso.org, and we can make sure we address those questions as needed. What we're going to do though is practice everybody in the chat box social skills, and the three of us, we're going to hold up our mugs right now. If we all have our mugs. Tracy, do you have yours? Oh, there we go. Okay. And if you guys, who's watching and who's joining in, you can take a picture of us. Make sure we're smiling first. You can take a picture and then use the hashtag USO holidays and post that you joined in on November's USO Coffee Connection Live, and tell all your friends that you had a great time and you had a great conversation. But we're going to go ahead and smile for you. There you go. That was totally staged. That was staged. But let's see those posts on Tracy's video's frozen, but it'll get on.
Yeah,
Second.
She's just so happy to smile with her mug.
Yes. Oh, the internet. But thank you everyone for joining us. We really appreciate it. Have a fabulous Thanksgiving with your friends and family and your community around you. And we look forward to seeing you at our next Coffee Connection Live in December. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Be safe. Thank you.